Hi guys, welcome back. Now, if you haven't seen any of my other content, definitely subscribe and check out all my other stuff. You'll see a wide variety of watches and I hope to make it entertaining for you. Now, also, this is a follow-up to my first impressions of the STEELDIVE SD1996, a modern day homage to the classic Seiko SKX 007. Now, what's coming up in the not too distant future will be a comparison between the STEELDIVE in this video. I'm doing a side-by-side with the original SKX 007. I've bought a brand new one, a Japan-made one. I found it on Creation Watches, so check them out. They're a great way of finding some quirky watches which you can't always find anymore, and they get imported over. So I've had to pay like £300 for that because it comes with insurance and extra taxes and all that stuff. So I'll go into more detail when that watch comes. I'll do an individual review. And I'm also going to be doing comparison with a watch from Long Island Watches. I've been kindly sent a watch over by Mark from Long Island Watches. So if he's watching this, thank you so much. I can't wait to receive this watch. It shows if you ask nicely, you can get what you like. So he's lending me this watch. I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison to see 3 different price categories of this type of watch. How do they compare? So I can't wait to share that with you guys. So after you've seen this video, if you haven't subscribed already, do subscribe and click the notification bell, then you get to see all that future content when it comes. So I've spent some more time with the STEELDIVE and I've enjoyed owning it for a few days and getting a feel for it. And I must say I am quite impressed. There are some little pitfalls that I must highlight in this video. And one of them is why it's on this strap instead of the one that it came with, the steel one. I'll show you why. And there was another little issue which I managed to resolve. So again, I'll show in the video how I managed to resolve that. It's a very quick and easy fix for a problem with the bezel. And many watches, not STEELDIVEs, but so many others, can occasionally get issues with their bezels and how they turn. So again, check out the rest of this video and you get to see me show you how you can do these little tweaks to your watch and turn a great value watch into an awesome watch. So guys, oh no, where's the watch? Here it is. Now, so guys, here it is on a different strap. Now, later on I'll be doing some nice photos and clips to show you what it looks like on its standard steel bracelet. The reason why I've taken it off is because after I recorded that footage, a part of that strap, that bracelet that it came with, actually broke. So that is an indicator of the poor quality. It's not the same on all of these straps, so I'm not going to slander all the straps that are made, but they are renowned for being not great. And I'll show you what happened. So here it is. I'd already worn it for a while on my day out and about today. And the thing that I noticed, well, first of all, let's show you another thing. It's got hollow end links, which they don't fit very well into the lugs. That's the first issue I noticed. The finishing on the underside is poor. As you can see, it's not been honed enough and it's a little bit scratchy. It's very light and flimsy. I know people, thanks to Honest Watch Reviews, he kindly said you can change the clasp on these from a supplier on AliExpress, so go check out his channel and he's done a review on this watch as well, and he will he's got affiliate links. I haven't got those set up, so if you like this, go check him out. Supports another channel as well. I just say it's good to help each other out. Change the clasp, because that is the part of this watch which broke. See, it's come off here, and it's the pin that goes through the little rivet which pushes in here, which holds it all together. Obviously it wasn't held in place properly and it's fallen out. I mean, that's not good within a week of wearing it. So it gives you an indicator of why it's good to upgrade parts of your strap. And this is a good value watch, but I still don't expect after a week to have bits fall off it. So anyway, I've got that out of the way, and I've put this on a strap I did have already. I've had this on my Vostok and a few others. It's a 22mm lug width size strap. This is a sailcloth. Check out Watch Gecko. They sell these different sailcloth straps. These are fantastic. They're so comfortable, and I like them myself. I've got 2 or 3 of these for different watches, different sizes, because they often come with quick release. So good for quick strap changes. I'll go for neutral colours because it works on a lot more watches then. Then you've got the fact that this is good for water resistance too, so it's appropriate for this type of watch as well. So I'll start with, if you haven't seen my initial impressions video, I'm just going to fly through all the stats and specs so you've got an indicator of what this watch size is. So from memory it was just over 40mm on the case size, 40.9, so call it 41. The crown is 6.5mm. The lug to lug is 45, so it's a compact size. It fits on the wrist really nicely. Thickness is not too thick, it's only 13.3. And as I've said before, the lug width is 22mm. It has excellent lume on the bezel insert, which is made of ceramic. It has excellent lume, which is on all the indices and the hands. Slightly different colours on all three. I'm going to show you a little lume shot now. And as you can see, you've got slightly different colour differentiation on those three aspects. That is okay by me, but some of you might have issue with that. There's 316L stainless steel for all the metal components. We've got signed crown, which is really nice. I do like their logo. Some people don't, but I personally do. I think it's really smart. And they've also done it on the underside of the watch, which is really, really smart. This says 200 meters dive resistance, but I wouldn't say it's ISO rated, which effectively means it's not a dive watch, but it's very likely that this will accommodate 99.9% of the users who are going to wear this type of watch. So you'll be fine. Screw down crown, aiding with that water resistance. There's the date complication, not the day. And the reason being is this is the Seiko NH35 movement, not the 36, which has that day complication. The reason why they've done that is many steel dive watches, if not all, have an NH35 because they make do and are perfectly fine by just having the date complication. So because these movements are bought in bulk for these brands, they don't need to buy in an NH36, especially for one or maybe two models, just so it has that day indicator on there. So that's why this doesn't have it. So if you can live with that, that's totally fine. Now, I've gone through the stats and specs. The weight of this, when I put it on the steel bracelet and it was sized down to my wrist, which is 7 inches, it weighed 158 grams, which is a really nice sort of sweet spot, if you will, for a sports watch. But it's definitely a weighty strap because when all the links are in, I've taken 7 out to, you lost well over 20 grams in difference in weight. So it just shows how weighty that bracelet is, although poorly made. So I'm going to show you a clip now of what the first thing I'm going to do for my criticisms, and that is the bezel action. I'm going to show you now. I'm just going to build in the clip of how I fix this issue on the bezel. So guys, one of the things I did definitely notice with this watch, which I had on a previous steel dive and I managed to sort it. I'm going to see if it works on this one as well. It won't cause it any damage. It's just a case of seeing if it will actually improve it. Now, the bezel action on this, since I got it, has changed and got slightly stiffer and slightly worse. My wife, I said, you ever go at turning this bezel, darling? And she said, God, that's really stiff. I mean, I've got pretty good grip. I think a lifetime of turning bezels strengthens the muscles in your digits. But anyway, that's beside the point. What we got here is this is pretty stiff. And it doesn't feel very smooth and consistent. It doesn't feel broken, it just doesn't feel quite right. And sometimes it's just a case of lubrication, you know. So I've had a go in the past with, just because this is easier to apply, this is called watch oil. And it's got a tiny little applicator at the end. So it's easier to do a more precise application of oil. So I've got it on my fingers already. Now, I'm just going to gently put some drops around here. Let it soak in a bit. Again, this will not cause any damage. It's going to only benefit the watch. I'm just going to add some in here. So you can just very carefully apply it very thinly and neatly in any little gaps. Now I'm going to rest it flat, let it soak in a bit and help move it around. Already that feels better. So that I'm putting a lot less effort into turning that. So I'll just keep turning it a few more times. that does feel significantly better, I must say. So if you get a watch with a fairly stiff feeling bezel, I definitely recommend this. You get on Amazon. I got it for a few quid. It's watch and clock oil. As you can see there, it's fine, does the job. And you see how quick I've just put that in, and that immediately feels better. I would say that's done. That's how happy I am with that. Now all you'd have to do to finish the job is give it a clean. Blah. Done. So as you can see, that was dead easy fix, and this is so much lighter. I'll have to do the wife test later to get her to have a go and fiddle with my bezel, so she can see how much better it is and how easy it is. Just with a bit of lube, things are always a little bit easier. God, that sounds wrong. But anyway, you get the point. Now, that's the first thing I managed to fix. I've talked about the bracelet not being great. Fix that with a different strap. And straps, I mean, they're not that expensive, and a bit of oil doesn't cost much. Then you've got it for other future issues with different watches. So these are little things that compromises you're going to notice sometimes with excellent value watches, and most of these issues are repairable. One thing I would have a bit more concern about, which I'm going to explore when I do my comparison video with the other SKX and the Long Island watch, is the metal here. Look at these points here on the crown guards. They're like little razor blades. They're not sharp enough to cut you, but they're just not comfortable to use. So when you are going to set the time or wind the movement, which you can do on this NH35, when I'm turning that, I was going to show you close up. As you turn, look, that's how I like to turn my crown, because it's easy. Look, it's digging into my finger like that. That's not comfortable. So to turn the bezel the crown comfortably, you have to almost flatten your fingers to turn it to make it comfortable, but then it's awkward. So I don't want to have to change how I undo a crown on a watch to make it comfortable. It's just, I haven't had to do that on any watch before. I've never had to like totally change my technique and make it more awkward so I don't hurt my finger. If I own this watch, I would modify it because I'm that way inclined. Now what I'd do is I'd take the movement out, and I would carefully take the crown out, and I would use tools to carefully file. I've got these mini files. I'd carefully file and re-sculpt that and then re-polish it so it would curve around better. Have a softer feel to it when you're using it. But that's me. But again, this is a 100 quid watch roughly, which you can get from these guys here. I've been lent this watch so I can enjoy sharing it with my findings with you, and I'll send it back with all its original bits and bobs. But I just wanted to show you, from my experience having this watch long enough to feel like it was my own, what it is like. And to summarise, while I do my summary, I'm going to show you some nice photos and video clips, etc., of what this watch really looks like in natural light rather than under these unnatural studio lights, so you get to see. So my summary is, for the money, it is a good looking watch, a faithful homage without being too much of a copy to the infamous Seiko. I like the design. I love the handset, the indices, the bezel, all the extra lume, and the fact it has sapphire glass, which is not going to scratch, and it all fits really well, neatly. Everything lines up well. Slightly oiled the bezel, and now the bezel's got a lovely smooth action. The crown, when you can undo it without hurting your fingers, is actually very smooth, winds in and out really easily, and all the aspects of the movement are fantastic. It's a reliable, decent movement which keeps accurate time. It's a good workhorse Seiko movement, and that's why they're so popular in many of these homage watches and many micro brands. There are micro brands out there that have £500 and $500 watches that use this exact same movement. Just shows you how popular they are, and for good reason. This is a well-weighted and proportioned watch, has excellent stats and specs, and it is well finished. It's well made for the actual watch aspect in general. You look at it really close under light, it's really pretty, it catches the light really well. I must say I am impressed with the overall fit and finish for a watch of this value. And it's interesting as well. It's not just the usual Submariner homage, which I also like, but it's nice to have something different, you know, guys. And that's what this is. So I'm hoping you've enjoyed my follow-up and catch-up. I've found a few little things about the watch which I've managed to resolve most of them, and so can you. And I think it's definitely worth your attention. And don't forget to use, if you want to buy one of these or show interest that you want to buy one, to use my discount code, because it's of no financial benefit to me. I don't get any commission or any extra perks. It's just a nice thing to offer to you guys. It's a kind gesture from STEELDIVEUK.com to save you even more money. All you have to do to save £5 off this or any other Steel Dive watch from his website is to put the code WatchMeWatches5 in at the checkout, and you save another £5 off an already excellent value watch. Now, I've thoroughly enjoyed borrowing this watch, and I'll be sad to see it go. So thanks for watching this, guys. It's been a pleasure having you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next comparison video for this against a few other similar watches. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.